Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back. We're gonna do a one-nighter, and when I say we got Katie this time.
Hello.
And we got Bernie.
Yeah.
Bernie, look.
Good boy.
I got a couple of places in mind. I'm not sure how it's gonna be like. If it's taken, then we're gonna try to just explore, look around, and see what we can find.
But we got a lot of gear to test out today, and I'm gonna make some sindaboo, and he's gonna cook a steak up, and it's just gonna be a nice Saturday, just out and about.
Come along for the ride and join us on this adventure.
Bye.
We made it to the place where I want to go and camp, but I didn't know there was going to be this much snow up here, and we actually had to turn around because of this. So because of the snow accumulation, I guess there was a plow that came up and piled up the snow this high, and actually the way to the campsite is down that way. And another revelation that we just had is while we're driving, Katie asked if I remember to bring a sleeping bag because I emptied out my truck for some rearranging, and I forgot the sleeping bag. So we do have a top quilt that we leave inside the tent, but that's for one person. So Katie's definitely gonna use that. Luckily we have a heater we're gonna test out. It's supposed to be smaller than the buddy heater. I feel like a freaking idiot, but it's okay because I brought down pants. I do have a synthetic down jacket, and then plus the heater, hopefully it'll be enough to keep us warm in there. All right, we're gonna look for a campground and we'll get back to you guys. All right guys, so if you look up ahead over there, there's a log and there's like a cut between the two, but it's for a narrower vehicle, like a side-by-side. So as you can see, the limitations of my truck is here, being it so wide. So what we're gonna have to do is just look for a place to camp around here. Definitely out of the way of the road if there are vehicles that are gonna pass by, but we're gonna look for a place around here just to set up camp. So that road is just, I looked at the map and that's just a forest road with no campsites around. So we might like go into the side over there or pull up to the side somewhere and then set up camp. I want to give a shout out to Anthony Hanna for hooking up Katie with these boots. They're Keen boots. These are insulated, nice and warm winter boots. What do you think?
They're nice. I need to get my jacket too.
Okay.
Here you go.
Bernie. Oh look, Bernie just took a leak right there.
I'm gonna pee first.
Okay.
You pee twice, right? I'm not gonna video this, right?
No. Alright guys, so the truck was a little bit uneven along the side over here. So what I did was I did put down a traction board to kind of level it out a little bit. So I got the traction board in the back and in the front here. So now the truck is more level so that we can set up our camp. We intentionally came up to a little higher elevation where there's snow. The forecast showed rain overnight to tomorrow on all of the lower elevation areas. So I'm hoping up over here it'll be cold enough so that if it does rain, it'll be snowing instead, because snow is easier to deal with than rain. Hey guys, I do also want to share a disclaimer. Anything you see here that we take to go overlanding or car camping or whatever, it is not a necessity. There's maybe just a few things that we require, like the tire, good tires, sleeping bag, some sort of shelter. Those kind of things are the necessity for camping out here. But I do want to share that all of these additional things are just things to enhance the experience. Some people might say, hey, you don't need that, that's overpriced, this and that, but what is too much, right? So for those of you who are gun guys, how many pistols are enough? How many rifles are enough? Is two too much? Is three too much? Those of you who are watch collectors, how many watches are good enough? For those of you who like to fix up your cars, whether it's race cars or trucks or rigs or whatever, when do you need to stop? What is necessary and what is there to help you enhance your experience and enjoying whatever it is that you do as a hobby. So when you see things like this, when you see like the chairs or the tables or, you know, the things that we use here to enhance our experience, that's all it is. It is to enhance our hobby of enjoying the outdoors, car camping, overlanding, or whatever you want to call it. I don't want you guys to get the impression that these are things that you absolutely need. Okay, so these are things that you might want to look at. It's just to bring awareness to these products that you might not have heard of before. Like a lot of the things which I get for car camping and stuff like that, I look at YouTube. I look up YouTube reviews. I look at other people using them. And then you realize there's just more than one thing out there for a certain type of category that you can choose between, you know, within your budget and within your means and within your lifestyle. Just more awareness, more options for you guys to choose from. So that's what's going on here. But anyways, it's been a while since just Katie and I and Bernie have camped, you know, just the three of us. So that's what we're going to try to do and enjoy right now. But right now we're just going to kind of settle in. Katie does the tent setup and she's right there. I don't know if you guys can see her. But yeah, we haven't seen any vehicles come by here. So we did make sure when you do camp in certain areas like this by the road somewhere, that you're not in the middle of the road or you're not, of course, getting in the way, because that is definitely a hazard. All right, also just want to share with you guys what we do when we get to camp, how we set things up. So when I usually set up the camp area, Katie goes into the tent and she sets up the inside of the tent. Nope, Bernie, go. Bernie's trying to commit suicide out here, but guys, I just wanted to share with you. So this is the only top quilt we have. This is a 0-degree top quilt. This one person, so Katie's gonna use that. That X-Pad dual air pad also is insulated to our value of 9, so it's definitely going to keep us warm underneath us, and we just had that for added comfort. So I'll tell you guys what I'm going to try to do to stay warm tonight, since I don't have a sleeping bag or a top quilt. But
first let me say that I told him we should share it, but he refuses, so I'm just saying.
Now guys, we got a couple of things here. That's a little mini stove that Katie's going to cook her this like Korean spicy tofu soup, and we'll show you that in a little bit. We actually brought a rice cooker because this is Korean style, of course, so we need rice with our meal, or we would prefer to. So if you're wondering how we're going to power that, we got another 1300 watt hour power bank, so we're going to try to hook it up to that and see how that goes. And then any kind of chopping we're going to do on this cutting board here. We got a few other things that we want to show you guys. We got a little heater in the back we're going to use in our tent. We used to use a Mr. Buddy, but we're going to test that one out in the back. It's a smaller size, and there's just like this crazy thing where the canister that's going to fuel that stove will fuel that heater. So it's pretty cool. Okay guys, so there's that little heater. This canister fuels that as well as the little stove. So Katie's getting a little cold up there in the tent, so we're going to bring this up there and let her test it out. And as you can see, there's the off, on, the adjustment of the strength. So what we do is we get this canister, take off the lid, then inside here there's the insert for this can. So what we're gonna do is, as you can see, there's like this little groove right here, this space. There's also a little space that you'll see if you look in there. So we're gonna put that in and twist it in. So over here there's a hole to show you you're gonna fit it in right. I'm gonna put it on this cookie sheet, push and twist until it says on. And there you go, it's already on. So I used to use a Mr. Buddy heater, and the Mr. Buddy heater, you gotta prime it. So you gotta press down the button in the pilot and then turn it on. But this one, you just twist and it automatically turns on. And as you can see, it's smaller, it takes up less space. I'll do a little review on this, I think, down the line, but right now we're just gonna use it because we want the heat. So as you can see, this shows you the strength, as you can see, to the high. So we're gonna leave it on high, leave it here, and yeah, it is smaller, huh? Yeah, so we're gonna leave it with Katie in here, and then she's gonna report back. Let me know. Also, by the way, we got that window open, that window slightly open, and this main entrance, we're gonna just leave it open with the mesh. So we're gonna see how well this one heats with all of that. But you know, of course, it'll work better if all the covers are closed. But for right now, we're gonna leave it like this, and you let me know what you think. And you can adjust the heat setting too.
Yeah, I really like this one, so it's so much cuter.
All right, so we got that rice cooker We pre-pack the rice in here and we just carry it this way. What we're gonna use is this power bank. So as you can see, this has USB port, USB-A, fast charge USB. So this is supposed to be a high capacity, high performance charge, regular USB, USB-C, another USB-C. So we got 100% power. I did charge it before we left. And then on the other side, we have all of these 110 over here that we can plug in the rice cooker. And we're gonna see if that works. I hope that works, because if it doesn't work, then we're not gonna have rice tonight, which is fine. I got Katie's gonna make this Korean spicy soup thing, but I'm gonna make ribeye steak. All right, so first things first, we gotta clean out the rice. Okay, so put some rice in there. Got some water coming down, so we're just gonna wash it out a little bit. And usually rinsing it around for like 3 times is usually good. And then the 4th time, you should be fine. It's less milky than it was before, so this should be the good sweet spot. So because we put 2 cups of rice in here, we're gonna put about 2.5 cups of water. So now we're gonna put it in the rice cooker. And then we're gonna plug it in to, this is the Delta 1300. And then we're gonna press that. Now the light is on, and let's see if it powers this rice cooker. So the rice cooker, I'm gonna turn the power, and then I'm gonna hit white rice. So the rice cooker is activated and working, connected to the Delta 1300. And then on the other side, it shows the draw. So as you can see, it's drawing 370 watts. That's a lot. And that's how much this rice cooker is drawing. So usually to cook this, it takes about, I think, 30 minutes or something like that. So we're gonna leave it on and see what happens. We're gonna cook the rice, and once it's fully cooked, the rice cooker is gonna beep and let us know. And we're gonna see how much power is left on this. Right now it's at 100%. I fully charged it before we left. Alright guys, and just like for the heater, you use this butane propane gas canister. You just look into the hole here, make sure it lines up, press it in, and it just snaps in. And then you twist it, turn it on. We're gonna put the pot on top of that, but for right now we're gonna leave it off. So when we're ready to cook on it, we will turn that on and let Katie do her thing. So how long has it been, like 20 minutes?
20 minutes, I put on low, and it's just perfect. I mean, it's like just the slightest amount of heat, but so nice.
You have it right there in front of you.
Yep. But it's not like burning up anything in front of it like the Buddy did.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Alright, so the rice cooker started beeping, so it's done. Let's check it out. Oh yeah. That is ready. So we're gonna check how much of the power it drew from this power bank. So let's check it out. Turn on this power indicator. So it's at 91%. So it drew 9% of this power bank to cook this rice on this rice cooker, which is pretty good. Impressed. So now we're gonna start making some dinner. Katie is going to use the Kovea little mini stove, and she's gonna cook her little stew thing in that. Now, sundubu is a Korean spicy soup dish that is fairly simple to make and is very hearty. The version we are cooking is a fairly simple version. It has the spicy soup base, the soft tofu, green onions, chopped mushrooms, and a couple of eggs.
This is sundubu, and then, oops. And then, what I like to do is put some rice on there, dip it in, get it nice and juicy.
Yep. It's a little hot, isn't it?
It's hot, but oh, it's so warm going down. Oh, my kimchi.
Oh yeah, let's get that.
Can you help me with this? I got some kimchi and rice. So good.
Yeah.
Very easy. Very cheap. The soup is only I think like $3 at the Korean market, and it gives you a lot of food and it's hearty. I don't know if people like tofu, but it's worth a shot.
Yeah, it's healthy. It has tofu, good for you, relatively healthy. For a cold, nice winter, snowy environment like this, having like spicy soup like that is really good.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, if you didn't know, before Katie started dating me, she did not like spicy food. Then I had to introduce her to some spicy Korean food. And now she's all about it. Like, this is her idea to cook this on this trip. So as Katie is enjoying her Korean food, I'm gonna grill my steak in a little bit. As you can see, the fire, the coals have not been building up yet, so I'm gonna wait a little bit. And then once the coals are ready for the steak, I'm gonna put the grill attachment over the fire pit and then grill my steak.
Damn, bro.
4 speeds. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got the highest speed going. And this fan charges via USB, micro USB. So you don't need to worry about replacing the batteries on it either. And once this runs out, I have my power bank. I'm just gonna plug it in and recharge it. And this lasts actually a pretty long time. All right, we're gonna give this a try. Gonna cut off a piece here. Looks like it's about medium rare. That's good. And for this meal, I brought some macaroni salad. Got a paper plate. Oh yeah, that's good. I wish you guys could smell this. I'm just gonna enjoy this steak and this macaroni salad. I want to thank Fred over at Mountain Hatch for sending me over this cutting board. It's come in quite useful. As you saw earlier, we were cutting up some green onions for Katie's meal. Got some steak here. It's nice and wide so that I can kind of lay out my steak, cut it up, eat it up. And this is food grade, so it's pretty easy to clean. Another thing that's great about these cutting boards is that it doesn't really dull the knife as fast. So if you have a sharp knife, you can still cut your food on this and it'll stay sharp, and it's not going to dull it out as quickly as you would if you were doing it on some, like, I don't know, wood board or something like that. But anyways, I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to jump in the tent with Katie, and then we'll see you guys in there. Bye. Alright guys, it's about 2:10 in the AM right now. So a couple of things that happened. As you guys know, I did not bring my sleeping bag, or we forgot to pack our sleeping bag, so Katie's using the top quilt and I had to figure out a way to stay warm. So what I did right now is I had this synthetic mid-layer jacket from Montbell, and then I have these down pants by Montbell as well. For a little bit they did help, and then we did for a little bit use this heater. So a couple of observations I've noticed on the Kovea heater so far. This definitely takes up less space. We put on a cookie sheet where we normally put the Mr. Buddy heater, maybe a third or a fourth the size of the Mr. Buddy, so, or Mr. Heater. So it's been great for that. It takes up less space, and it's still, for this tent this size, it is able to warm up the tent, which is great. As you know, it uses these butane propane canisters. That works great. It's very easy to use. You just stick it in the slot, turn it, and on the first ignition it just always lights up. There's no fail. But one but is that these canisters, we had it on low because low was sufficient to heat up the tent. It does last about 2 to 3 hours so far from what we've noticed. What'll happen is at the end of it, it'll just start to kind of flicker, and then I'll hear the pulsating, and then it'll just turn off, of course, because there's no more gas. So that's just kind of, you know, woken us up a couple times. So I replaced the canister twice, so I used 2 full canisters so far. We started using it around 8 o'clock, and off and on. Like, I would turn it on, and if it gets warm I'd turn it off. A couple times I just left it on because I didn't have a sleeping bag, so that was my only heat source. Yeah, it's done it, but you know, I was thinking of looking another additional alternative to keeping me warm so that I don't have to constantly turn it on and off. We've done the same thing with Mr. Buddy heater, but when we had the Mr. Heater here, I had a sleeping bag, so I could just, for the rest of the night, once we shut it off, I'll just stay warm inside the sleeping bag. But tonight is like an exception, you know. I don't have any cover, and this didn't feel sufficient. As you can see, it's cold outside. I'm probably guessing it's in the low 30s to high 20s tonight. So what I did opt to use as plan B was I carry around an emergency blanket with me. So it was on sale. It was normally it's $21.99, and I got it was on clearance for $8.87. And this is the Sport Utility Emergency Blanket. But unlike the little compact Mylar, this is definitely more heavy duty. It feels a little thicker. The Mylar blanket, you could probably use it once and you'd probably have to throw it away. It did reflect the body heat, and it's been pretty warm. But a couple of things. One, it's loud. So if I move around in it, it just wakes up Bernie, it wakes up Katie. It sounds like someone's sneaking in potato chips as a midnight snack and just trying to eat chips. And it's just loud. So that's one. And second, it has this weird kind of like a noxious odor. Katie describes it as smelling like paint thinner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack this back up. Ultimately, what we're going to try to do is we're both going to try to fit in one person top quilt. And I think we're just going to try to keep it like that. And I know some people are going to start commenting, you know, there's other ways to stay warm with your significant other.
We already did that.
Using the heater once in a while, I'll turn on the heater, and when it gets warm inside the tent, we'll then close up the windows to try to trap in some of that heat. As I told you guys earlier, I didn't bring the insulating layer, so it doesn't trap in the heat as much as it would with the insulating layer. But it still works. And then we're going to do the top quilt, and then we're going to try to finish the rest of the night with some sleep. So I'm going to pack this up, put this back in its bag, put it off to the side, and we'll try to sleep the other way, and I'll report back to you guys in the morning. Bye. Good morning, guys. It's 7 o'clock. We made it through the night. As you can see, it's raining. It started to rain on us overnight. I was hoping for snow, but I guess it's not really cold enough, so it's just been raining.
Well, around 2 a.m. it snowed for like 10 minutes or so, and then it turned to rain, and that's the end of that.
Yeah, it's just so I guess the fun part is gonna be packing up and breaking down camp in the rain, which is just the part that I really don't like about camping, but it is still worth it. It is still beautiful out. So the heater's been working really well. Overnight we used a total of 3 canisters, just about, and we had it on low, and it's been able to keep the tent inside pretty warm. Bernie's just relaxing. All I had was just a pillow to rest on, but I like this pillow. It's from Coop Home Goods. The cool thing about this pillow is that it's like a memory foam pillow, but it has bits and pieces of memory foam which you can remove out of the pillow to change the softness of the pillow. So I sleep on my side a lot, so I keep all the memory foam inside, and it keeps my head elevated. But if I need more lower, I guess to keep my head lower, like if you're sleeping on your back, you can remove some of this memory foam, and it comes with this little pillowcase you can get, or I got separately, which is it's like silk. So that has been keeping my head comfortable, and then my body is, like I said, it's just like I got the mid-layer synthetic jacket, and then the down pants, and the heater, and it's been good so far, and that's worked. But definitely gonna remember my sleeping bag next time. But anyways, we're gonna
Start packing up, go get coffee.
so we'll get back to you guys probably in the car. Alright guys, so finally packed up everything. So what did you think about the trip?
It was amazing for multiple reasons. You can take that out if you want to, but it was really fun. The Sundubu was awesome. That's gonna be a new thing for me, I think, for when it's still cold out. I'm gonna keep making that just because it was really easy and cheap. So I like that. It was fun, good times. We went to bed early, but I enjoyed that. So. And
yeah, it was good. It was fun. I always seem to be packing up stuff in the rain, but you know, that's part of living in the Pacific Northwest. I'm hoping it'll start drying up soon and we'll encounter less rain in the future. But for right now, we're just gonna drive out, try to get coffee on the way home. It was good times. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the section down below in the comment section. Like I said, the gear that we got, it's in continued testing mode. So as things develop and as I notice certain things, I'll fill you guys in on that as well. But for the time being, we're gonna call it a day here, end this video right now. So take care, be safe,
and see you next time.
bye.